Hi guys, Dr. Rob Barrington here with some more nutrition advice. Beans, legumes. Many people associate the consumption of legumes with a laborious preparation period, and that can be true. If you eat dried beans, you do have to soak them, you do have to cook them for extended periods. They're not the easiest food to get in after work and consume. You have to think ahead in order to be able to eat dried beans. But you can get the benefits of legumes without having to turn to dried beans. Beans are available in packets frozen. And there is no reason, there's nothing in the nutritional literature that suggests that they have any less of an effect compared with fresh or dried beans. Frozen beans, a very good source of fibre still. They still contain the phytonutrients originally in the beans. And even we know that phytonutrients, many of them survive the freezing process because analysis of fruits have looked at things like anthocyanins and other flavonoids. And generally, frozen fruits contain most, if not all, of the nutrients that are found in fresh fruits. So frozen beans are a very good option. All you do is put them in a pan, you cook them for 2 or 3 minutes, and then you can serve them. So they're a very fast food. And of course, there are tin beans. Here's some tinned beans that I've picked up from the supermarket. It's a 3-bean salad in water, and this tin alone has over 20 grams of fibre in it. So tinned beans have been analysed in the scientific literature, and yes, they still have the effects of fresh or dried beans. So it's a bit disingenuous to think of beans as difficult to prepare, because you can get the benefits of beans from tinned beans and also from frozen beans. So they're actually, if you turn to the tinned and the frozen varieties, they're actually very fast foods to prepare. Open the tin, pour them into a pan, and you have your beans ready to go. Now, even baked beans in tomato sauce, although they contain sugar because the tomato sauce contains sugar, studies have actually looked at baked beans, and there was an interesting study that was done on people with type 2 diabetes. They asked them to consume half a tin of baked beans in tomato sauce every day, and they made no other changes to their diet. They had improvements in their blood sugar, and they all lost weight with no calorie restriction, no exercise, no changes to the diet other than consuming half a tin of admittedly not particularly healthy beans because of the sugar there. They actually still lost weight. This is the power of legumes. They are such a good weight loss food. They are such a healthy, high quality food. They are packed with fibre. They're a high protein food. The carbohydrate within them is released very, very slowly, which is why these people with type 2 diabetes had beneficial blood sugar effects. They slow the absorption of carbohydrate from other foods that you eat with the beans. And this causes weight loss because high glycemic response from foods, from refined carbohydrates, is one of the causes of weight gain. So therefore, if you eat legumes and you reverse that process, you cause weight loss. It's not rocket science. So I would suggest that if you're one of those people like me who doesn't really have time to soak beans, think ahead, cook beans over a long period, I'd suggest that you have a look at frozen beans. You can get frozen baby broad beans. They're very cheap. Frozen peas, of course. Peas are a legume as well. And you can also buy tinned, very many different varieties of beans are tinned. There's kidney beans. There's all sorts of beans that you can get in tins. If you go to one of the supermarkets, pick one of the butter beans are quite nice. They're quite a larger bean. Pick one of the varieties you like, and learn to cook with them so that they actually add to the taste of your food. Another thing to say about legumes, if you want to get the benefits of legumes, is of course peanuts are legumes. Many people think peanuts are nuts. They're not. They're not a true nut. They are actually a legume, and they do have a lot of the benefits of legumes. Studies have looked at peanuts, and they do have weight loss effects. So if you don't like beans, you don't want to eat tinned beans, you don't want to eat frozen beans, and you don't have time to prepare dried beans, and you don't like those either, have a look at peanuts, go to the literature, have a look on my blog. There are studies that have looked at peanuts. They are a legume, and they do have the benefits of legumes, and of course they're very easy to eat. You shouldn't over consume them, and you shouldn't eat them with added salt, but if you eat them from their original packaging, their original shell, you shell them yourself when you eat them, they are actually a very healthy food. So there's some ideas to incorporate legumes into your diet. Legumes are one of the pivotal things you need in a high quality diet. They've been shown to be very, very good for the health. They are a very high quality food. We're not entirely sure why they're beneficial to the health, but certainly those people that incorporate more legumes into their diet, they're certainly healthier and they're certainly thinner.